Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, when the 5 bench judges at the Supreme Court ruled in favor of LGBTQ plus community, William Ruto was silent on this matter. Rigathi Gachagua was silent to the extent even the Kenya Kwanza leaders were silent. But then, the Azimio la Umoja leaders were making noise. We had Kaluma talking, and even he was ready to sponsor a bill in the National Assembly. The other leaders in Azimio, they were talking. Then Raila Amolo Odinga also took this matter serious. To an extent, he called for a meeting with the Muslim leaders, that is imams and the preachers, to discuss on the same matter. So we also went to an extent whereby there was also fake news running on social media. Even they were trying to use the Taifa Leo newspaper to say that Mashoga washukuru Ruto. So it means they were happy that Ruto has just made it to happen for them in their favor. Now they have that freedom. That was fake news, but of course it was gaining momentum. Because the president was silent, he was not speaking nothing. So when Ruto and Gachagua learned that the public is not happy with what the Supreme Court has made, the ruling, they realized that people are now starting to question their leadership, their Christianity, and the ground was not in their favor. Then after that, all of a sudden from nowhere, William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua just appeared and they made a swift U-turn. This is what Rigathi Gachagua said today. Just want to quote him. I was shocked and even wondered what I could say. Do you know that there are times when you can be shocked until you have nothing to say? We are hearing that there is an organization that wants to defend same-sex marriage. What is that? We have no problem with the court, but we have to ask what they imagine when a woman marries another woman. We do not have that, and that is against our belief. That is Gachagua. Now, then Ruto also came out to speak, and this is what he said. I cannot allow a woman to get competition from men who chase after men. That will not happen under my watch. In Kenya, we have our culture and the traditions. We respect our constitution and allow our religious, and all our religious, we can't travel the road of woman marrying woman or man marrying man. This won't happen in Kenya. That was William Samoei Ruto. So the big question in this building today, why Ruto, Gachagua and Kenya Kwanza are making U-turn on the issue after Supreme Court ruled. Before we respond to that, just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, most of you will remember one time when Raila Odinga and the other leaders were fighting for the 2010 constitution. Ruto was against the 2010 constitution, and he was lying on one thing. That is, it is going to allow homosexual. And he used the church as a tool to decampaign this constitution. Remember, they tried with the church. But of course, most Kenyans were well informed that that was nowhere in that constitution. So he was against it and he was using the church. But today, he's here and it is happening under his watch. One thing that Ruto discovered is that The church in which he has been hiding inside in the name of getting support to lead this country, it was now against what the Supreme Court ruled. They were not supporting Christians, the clergy, and the Muslim community, including imam and preachers. They were so much angry with that kind of ruling. They would quote the verses in the Bible. They would quote the writings in the Holy Quran to express their anger and the values in those two holy books. So these people, yesterday, they were, and I released those videos, you could hear them saying, they were very open. They were telling Raila Amolo Odinga, Baba, on this one, tunakuomba kwa hili na sasa utupiganie. Tafadhali, tupiganie kwa hili, simama na sisi tutasimama na wewe. Muslims were very clear because the president was silent. The only person who was coming out strong, it was Azimio. So even the Christians were feeling that Raila Odinga might be the right person. But not Ruto, who is now silent on this matter. Now, Ruto discovered this. After a very long time, I heard him mentioning Christians and Muslim. The word Muslim came to his mind. Now we know that we have the Islam in this country. But for a long time, he did not mention. But today he said that we will not allow our Muslim and Christian religion to be exposed to this kind of ruling in this country, that it will not happen under his watch. He cited the values in Islam and Christian teaching. Now here is the truth. Ruto, Gachagua, and the team, they were testing waters to see how deep is the water. That's the truth. Walikuwa wanajaribu waone what is the reaction from Kenyans after this ruling. Because this is not William Ruto's decision. They are being pushed by the people from the West. They are being pushed. Because the ruling happened, of course, we had first lady from US, and we have understood what happened during election. We saw the ambassador from US and UK. They were around there to make sure that everything is happening the way they planned. Ruto is being announced, and of course, he's receiving a certificate, and he's taking oath of office. So he was their man. But then, there is other activities that he needs to do for them. And this was just beginning of one of those issues. Mambo ya LGBTQ plus community, wakuwe na uhuru wao, and then mambo ya GMO plus kicking out the Chinese so that they can have chance to do business in this country. So this war goes to an extent of East versus the West, that level. So after this ruling, Ruto, the reason why Ruto was silent, he was reading the mood of Kenyans. To understand, we need to favor him. Because if he will discover that Kenyans are not buying into this, he understands that he's going to be one of the biggest enemy of Kenyans come 2027. And even before 2027, if Raila will call for the mass action, because we are counting days, in the comment section. We are counting days. Raila will call for mass action. Christians will come out to demonstrate because they have found a reason why to demonstrate. And they will mean business. You can imagine when religious leaders come out and those who believe in that faith to demonstrate. You know, they are fighting for their faith. That means this thing is deep in their spirit. So they does it in the kind of sacrifice. It means they are ready even to die for it. So that means it is lethal. Muslims were going to come out to demonstrate in their numbers. Pastors, bishops, imams, masheikh, they will come out to demonstrate in their numbers to condemn this issue, and that was going to give more chance for Raila Amolo Odinga to push for the other agendas. Because remember, we are talking about high cost of living. We are talking about people stolen election. Then you bring in this issue of undermining religion and Christian and Muslim values. Then African culture. All this you combine together, hunger and anger. That means it is lethal. So Ruto has realized that he's going to face very huge, rough situation in this country. That is why he's taking a U-turn. The question remaining is, how is he going to communicate to his masters? Because they're waiting for him. So again, we cannot be sure of what he's talking about, because he might just coming out to make mere statement. Because this is a thing that was done through the Supreme Court. So it means they can only appeal because that bench had 5. So itabidi sasa wakae wote. Wakishakaa wote, if there is something like appealing, or appealing the same decision in the same court, then let all judges make their ruling on the same matter. If it means voting, so be it. Let them vote. That's the only chance that is remaining, or go to the parliament and make law that criminalizes that act completely. So that another time, when judges are interpreting the law, it is already entrenched in the law. And if Ruto is serious, he would have talked about how they are going to sponsor a bill to deal with that issue. So he's yet to talk about sponsoring a bill. It means it is still a mere statement, because he's feeling the heat. It is real. That is the reason why Ruto and Gachagua have come out to react. Otherwise, these people wanted this bill, they wanted this thing to pass, because they are working on behalf of their master. Hao ndio viongozi mko nao.